morning, dear students. I am Ms. NAVEDA.SHAIKH from Brahan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika MCGM virtual class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's session, we'll be learning something new and interesting from a science textbook. So let's get started. Good morning, dear students. I am Mrs. NAVEDA.SHAIKH from MCGM virtual class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's class, we'll be learning a very interesting chapter from your science textbook, that is life processes in living organisms. Now this chapter is very interesting because we will be getting to know about our body, what exactly is happening in our body, about various systems that we have in our body, and along with us there are various other systems which are working on the similar basis in plants also. Okay, so we'll be learning uh, few processes in living organisms. In that we'll be discussing more about human beings and in plants. Okay, so let's get started and learn something new and interesting in this chapter. In this chapter we'll be learning about transportation in plants, as to how the food and water gets transported in plants. We'll be learning about excretion in plants, animals and humans. Okay, we'll be learning about how the waste products are given out from humans, from plants and from animals. We'll be learning about coordinations between plants and animals, how plants coordinate amongst themselves and how humans have a very different process in their body which helps in coordinations in them. Okay, so today in this part of the chapter we'll be talking about transportation in plants and excretion. Okay, so let's continue ahead. In our previous standards, we have learnt about various life processes. We have learnt about transportation, that is of food and water with the help of blood vessels. We have learned about respiration, how different gases are important in our body and how they are given out. We have also learned about excretion. We have learned about reproduction. We have learned about digestion. We have learned about how nutrition is absorbed from the food that we eat, right? So all these are few life processes. These are not all life processes in your body, but these are a few life processes which are essential and we have learned about them. Okay, so today we'll be learning few more life processes in detail. Okay, now let us see how do the digestive system and respiratory system work. We've all seen about the different parts that are there in the digestive system and the different organs which are there in the respiratory system, right? So here these two pictures are helping us to just revise about the respiratory system and the digestive system. The respiratory system is responsible for absorption of oxygen from the atmosphere into our blood. Okay, and our lungs are specialized organs which are able to absorb oxygen from all the different gases that are present in the air. Now when you inhale in air, you are taking in so many different types of gases along with oxygen, right? ऐसा नहीं है कि हम लोग मना कर देते कि नहीं और कोई गैस नहीं आनी चाहिए, सिर्फ ऑक्सीजन आना चाहिए. It is not like that, but when you are breathing in air. और एयर के अंदर बहुत सारे gases होते हैं जो whether it is carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, there are useful, harmful gases which are there, but your lungs are specialized to absorb oxygen. They take in oxygen and they pass that oxygen into the blood with the help of the heart. Okay, and now the next system that is there in your body, that is the digestive system. This digestive system has the responsibility of taking in food, making and breaking it down into simpler substances, and these simpler substances get absorbed into your body, okay, through the blood. हमारा blood ये energy को absorb करता है जो हमें खाने से मिल रही है. ये energy and the oxygen from the respiratory system, this both they flow into the blood and they pass on to each and every cell and provide each and every cell with oxygen and nutrients. ठीक है, तो जैसे एक फार्मर अपने हर एक क्रॉप को पानी पहुंचाने के लिए एक छोटा सा डैम अगर होगा उसके पास या वेल होगी तो उसके थ्रू एक पाइपलाइन कनेक्ट करता है ताकि हर एक प्लांट को उसका प्लांट पानी मिल सके. सेम वे इन आवर बॉडी ऑल्सो each and every cell requires oxygen and food and nutrients. So how is it provided? It is provided throughout the body with the help of the blood. Okay, so this energy and oxygen are both transported via blood throughout the body with the help of two systems, that is digestive system and respiratory system. You're getting these two important things. Okay, so transportation means by the process of transportation, a substance either synthesized or absorbed in one part of the body reaches another part. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन हम सबको पता है. अगर हम लोग नॉर्मल सेंस में भी बात करेंगे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का मतलब कि कोई एक चीज एक जगह से अगर दूसरी जगह पर पहुंचानी है उसे हम लोग कहते हैं ट्रांसपोर्ट करना. राइट, कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट हो या फिर कोई भी चीज. वैसे ही हमारी बॉडी के अंदर भी इस ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कैरी आउट होता है. नाउ व्हेन यू आर टेकिंग इन फूड, योर फूड गेट्स digested, then after digestion it gets absorbed into your body, and this body what does it do? ये जो absorbed nutrients है इसे हर एक part को पहुंचाने का काम करती है. They transport it. Okay, once it is transported, there is ingestion. So this entire process is called as transportation. एक substance को synthesize करना और फिर उससे दूसरी जगहों पर पहुंचाना, उसे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कहते हैं in your body. Okay, let us understand about transportation in plants. We have learned about the how water and food is important for plants also, right? जिस तरीके से हमारे लिए खाना important है उसी तरीके से plants के लिए भी खाना important है. We have learned that plants are autotrophic organisms, means they can prepare their own food with the help of sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide gas and water, right? We have learned this. So most of the animals which move from place to place, but plants do not move, right? So there are many dead cells in the plant body. They less energy as compared to animals. They have less energy as compared to animals. Plants need inorganic substances like nitrogen, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, sodium, etc. These all nutrients they get it from the soil. Okay, the soil is the nearest and richest source of these substances. Roots of the plants absorb these substances from the soil and transport them. There are specific types of tissues to perform this function. The xylem conducts the water, whereas the phloem conducts the food. All parts of the plants are connected with these conducting tissues. So in this pictures, you can see the roots are absorbing all the nutrients, all the important substances like nitrogen, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, sodium, etc. from the soil. The leaves are absorbing all the they are preparing the food with the help of chlorophyll, water and carbon dioxide gas in the presence of light. So they are preparing food. अब ये food roots तक जाना चाहिए और roots के पास जो nutrients है, water है, वो leaves तक आना चाहिए. तो ये किस तरीके से होगा? So in plants also there is a channel. Okay, there are pipeline like how we have connected blood vessels to pass on blood from one part to the other. Same way, even the plants have vessels in them. So these vessels, these are special kind of tissues called as xylem and phloem. Xylem conducts water and phloem conducts food. Now do not get confused. Phloem and food, they sound similar. Foo and fo. ठीक है, तो उस तरीके से आप लोग याद रखेंगे food and phloem, water and xylem. ठीक है, so xylem conducts water and phloem conducts food. Let's understand first about transportation of water in plants. Root cells are in contact with plants, with water and minerals in the soil. So we have learned that जो root है वो क्या काम करता है? पानी absorb करने का. ठीक है, support करने के अलावा it absorbs water from the soil and along with that it also absorbs minerals. Like just we've learned about how nitrogen and its compound they are all absorbed with the help of the roots. अब ये जो roots के अंदर पानी और minerals है ये enter करते हैं into the cells on the root surface due to difference in concentration कहाँ कहीं पर ज़्यादा सूखा होता है, कहीं पर ज़्यादा ये पानी ज़्यादा होता है. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट, एज अ रिजल्ट, these cells become turgid. ठीक है, फूक जाते हैं. These turgid cells exert pressure on the adjacent cell. ये दूसरे आगे के सेल के ऊपर प्रेशर डालते हैं. Now this is called as root pressure. Under the effect of this pressure, water and minerals reach the xylem of the roots, and to reduce this difference in concentration, they are continuously pushed forward. ठीक है, तो ये क्या हो रहा है, जैसे धक्का लगता है ना एक दूसरे को आगे, अगर पीछे वाला धक्का मारता है तो आगे 3-4 लोगों को भी धक्का फील होता है. सेम वे, these cells when they absorb water and minerals they become turgid, और उसकी वजह से क्या होता है, एक प्रेशर बनता है आगे के सेल्स के ऊपर. These cells then further transfer this water and mineral to the next cells. So, and this will go on till it reaches the xylem. ठीक है, तो जाइलम तक ये पहुंच जाएगा पानी, और ये पानी अब जाएगा ऊपर प्लांट्स की तरफ. ठीक है, टुवर्ड्स द लीफ एंड द branches. As a result of this continuous movement, a water column is formed, which is continuously pushed ahead. This pressure is sufficient to lift the water up in the shrubs, small plants and small trees. ठीक है, तो इसके मदद से you can imagine कि पूरे प्लांट को पानी मिलता है ये प्रेशर की वजह से. And this is how the transportation of water takes place in plants. Here in this picture you can see how the xylem is conducting water from the roots towards the plant. Remember that root hairs absorb the water and minerals, then they transfer, the cells become turgid. These turgid cells then put on pressure, which is called as the root pressure, onto the adjacent cells, बाजू वाली cells को. और जब तक ये ऐसा होते जाता है एक जगह पर आकर ये रीच करता है, that is the xylem. Okay, this pressure reaches until, where does it reach? Until the xylem of the roots. And once it reaches this, and this xylem will now conduct water and minerals towards the plant. Okay, so this is how transportation of water happens in plants. Now plants give out water in the form of water vapor. We have learned this. We have performed an experiment. If you take a plastic bag and if you tie it onto the leaf, okay, after some times you will find that there are water droplets which have occurred onto the surface of the polythene bag. Now this shows that what plants also give out water vapor. Okay, so how does it give out? There are two cells called guard cells are present around the stomata. Everybody can see the leaves, and when you magnify it you can see that there are small openings that are called as the stomata. Stomata के बाहर की तरफ दो cells होते हैं, उसे कहते हैं guard cells. These cells control the opening and closing of stomata. जो guard cell है ये according to the environment they open and they close, and according to the give and take of the plant. Transpiration occurs through the stomatas. मतलब जो पानी है अगर it is in excess, it is given out from these stomatas. Water is released into the atmosphere by leaves through the process of evaporation. जब evaporation होता है तो ये stomatas की opening में से पानी evaporate होता है. Water is brought up to the leaves through the xylem so as to compensate for the lost water. जब गर्मी बहुत बढ़ जाती है तो leaves में से पानी evaporate होने लगता है. तो what happens now is the roots which has absorbed the water, ये xylem के through leaves तक पहुंचाया जाता है. Okay. Transpiration helps in absorption of water and minerals and distribution to all plants of the parts of the plants. Whereas root pressure performs the important role of pushing the water up during the night time. ठीक है, तो transpiration morning के time पे ज़्यादा रहता है because there is sunlight and you have more amount of heat which leads to evaporation of water. Okay, which so this transpiration helps in absorption of water and minerals. Transpiration की वजह से और ज़्यादा पानी और mineral absorb होता है to all parts of the plant. Okay, so because of the root pressure, the important role of pushing the water up during the night time. This happens during the night time. Okay. Now let us understand about transportation of food and other substances in plant. We have learnt about how water is transported and at what time. Mostly it is transported Let us now learn about transportation of food and other substances in plants. The food produced in leaves is transported to each cell in the plant body. तो जो भी food produce होता है from the leaf is transported to each and every cell on the plant body as well. Excessive food except amino acid is stored in roots, fruits and seeds. This process is called translocation of material. कभी भी कोई चीज़ अगर एक्सेस में प्लांट्स के अंदर बन जाती है, यानी excessive amount of glucose which is formed, it is stored in the roots. You have seen some roots like carrot, you have seen radish. ये सब चीज़ें जब खाते हैं हम लोग तो कितनी टेस्टी लगती है. Why does it feel tasty? Because that is the excessive food that the plant is preparing and storing in the roots. Okay, roots, fruits and seeds. This process is called as translocation of nutrients or minerals. तो जो भी materials है plant absorb कर रहा है, बना रहा है, उसको एक अलग जगह पर उसे store किया जाता है, and that is why it is called as translocation. It is carried out in both the upward and the downward direction by the phloem. Translocation of material is not a simple physical process. It requires energy. This energy is obtained from ATP. ATP, we have learned what is ATP. Okay, so I need not explain again. Whenever food material like sucrose is transported towards a part of a plant via the phloem with the help of the ATP energy, okay, the water concentration decreases in that part. जैसे ही food ऊपर की तरफ transport हो रहा है from the base towards the plant, तो क्या होता है, वैसे ही water concentration कम होने लगता है. As a result, water enters the cell by the process of diffusion. The pressure on the cell wall increases due to the increase in cellular content. Due to the increased pressure, जैसे जैसे pressure बढ़ता जाता है, the food is pushed into the neighboring cell. Same चीज जैसे हम लोगों ने plants के लिए पढ़े थे ना, उसी तरीके से यहाँ पर भी पहले क्या होता है, जो neighboring cells है वो absorb करते हैं, and then they, because of the increased pressure, the food is pushed into the neighboring cells where the pressure is low. This process helps the phloem to transport the material as per the need of the plant. Okay, so during flowering season, the sugar stored in the roots or stem is transported towards the floral buds to make them open and blossom. ठीक है, तो during flowering season, जो भी stored amount of glucose is there in the roots and the stem, it is transported towards the flowering buds so that it can open and blossom nicely. Let's understand a very important concept of excretion. We have learned transportation in plants and humans. We'll be learning about how excretion happens in plant. Okay, so many harmful and waste substances like urea, uric acid, ammonia, etc. are produced in living organisms. If these substances accumulate in the body or are retained in the body for a long time, अगर ये हमारी body में जमा हो जाता है या बहुत time तक हमारी body में रहता है, it can lead to serious injuries, serious harmful effect in your body. Alright, hence it is necessary to remove such harmful and waste substances from the body. Different organisms have different methods of doing this. Removal of waste or harmful substances from the body is called as excretion. In unicellular organism, or waste materials are directly eliminated across the cell's surface, whereas the process of excretion in multicellular organism is quite complex. ठीक है, हम लोगों ने पढ़े हैं अमीबा, पैरामीशियम के बारे में. उनके अंदर जो भी वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट निकलता है वो अपने स्किन के थ्रू बाहर छोड़ देते हैं, बट हमारी बॉडी के अंदर इट इज अ वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स स्ट्रक्चर. Okay, there are various parts, there are various processes which helps in the excretion. Same way, here you can see the main important things which are there in your body which has to be removed, the waste products. The material that has to be removed, excreted, are the nitrogenous waste, which could be urine, uric acid, urea, and excessive water through sweat and urine. And there are gases like carbon dioxide and salts which are given out with the help of the sweat and your through the respiratory system, or carbon dioxide is given out. Let's understand about excretion in plants. Leaves of plants fall off in a particular season. We have learned that. Means they are giving out that waste from the leaf in the form of dropping the leaves off from the plant. Okay, they do not want that. Same way fruits, flowers fall off after a certain period of time. Substances like resin, gums, etc. are given out of the plant. These are all examples of excretion of the plant. Excretion is a similar process in plants than in animals. There is no special organ or system for excretion in plant. Gaseous substances are given out by diffusion. Most of the waste substances of plants are stored in vacuoles of leaf cells and in flowers, fruits and the bark of the stem. We have learned this. Vacuoles के अंदर उनका waste products store होते हैं. After some time, these parts fall off. ठीक है, जब भी ये बहुत सारा जमा हो जाता है ये cells के अंदर तो वो part गिरने लग जाता है. Other than that, some other waste materials are also stored in old and worn xylem in the form of resin and gums. You can see in this picture, ये जो कोई yellowish color का पत्थर जैसा दिखाई दे रहा है, these are all resins. These are also useful, okay? And gum is also useful. So these are all waste products of the plant which are given out by some or the other kind of process. हर प्लांट का एक अलग तरीके का प्रोसेस है of giving out this excretion, giving out the waste. कुछ लोग अपने अंदर से ये white milky substance give out करते हैं, किसी के अंदर से raisins give out होते हैं, कोई कोई plants बहुत सारी चीजें साथ में भी कर सकते हैं. They drop their leaves, fall off, पूरे leaves गिर जाते हैं, raisins भी निकलते हैं, अगर leaf को तोड़ते हैं तो उसमें से sticky substance भी निकलता है. So these are some waste materials which are you must have seen, and there are some waste materials which are also given out through roots in the surrounding soil. Let us start with a very interesting part in this chapter, that is excretion in human beings. Now, excretion is a very important life process in all living organisms. Whether it is plants, whether it is animals, humans, everybody needs to remove their waste from their body. अगर हमारे घर की बात करते हैं, अगर हमारे घर में डस्टबिन है और अगर हम लोग डस्टबिन को बहुत दिन तक फेंकेंगे नहीं कचरा बाहर, तो क्या होगा? Have you ever noticed? It will stink, right? बास आने लगेगी और बहुत सारी बीमारियां फैल सकती है. Yes or no? So same thing is happening in your body also. When you eat so many things, when there are so many processes which are going on, और उसकी वजह से क्या होता है, हमारी बॉडी के अंदर वेस्ट भी फॉर्म होता रहता है, and that waste has to be removed from your body through the process called as excretion. Okay, so there are different organ systems in the human body to bring about the different life processes, such as the digestive system for digestion of food, respiratory system for respiration, etc. The process of digestion leading to energy production is an important process of our body. Various waste materials are formed during this process. Removal of this waste from the body is very important, and it is the excretory system that carries out this function. We all have learned that your body, when you eat something, it gets digested and the unwanted waste products is collected and it is given out, right, through the anus or through the urine. So this process of digestion, which gives out energy, and then the waste material which is formed, it is also given out through a process called as excretory system that is there in your body. The human excretory system consists of pair of kidneys. Pair मतलब दो, दो जब मिलते हैं तो उसे एक pair कहते हैं. A pair of ureters, the urinary bladder and the urethra. Urine is formed by the kidney by separating the waste and unwanted excess substance from the blood. Now digestive system हम लोगों ने पढ़ चुके हैं, हम लोगों को पता है कि हमारा waste product anus के थ्रू बाहर आ जाता है. In this part we'll be learning about the kidneys. हमारी जो kidneys है वो क्या करती हैं, जो भी blood है हमारी body में जो pump हो रहा है वो जब use हो जाता है उसके अंदर से सारे nutrients और oxygen जब absorb कर लिए जाते हैं by each and every cell of your body, then this blood comes into your kidney. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पर जो भी वो cell ने waste product blood के अंदर पहुंचाया था, now this kidneys are purifying that blood. Once they are purifying the blood, जो भी left out गंदा होता है वो urinary bladder में collect होने लगता है. Okay, this urinary bladder collects the waste from the kidney, and this waste is coming down from the kidney with the help of a tube-like structure called as the ureters. Okay, ये ureters भी पैर में है, kidney भी पैर में है, और urinary bladder एक ही होता है. After this, the urine which is formed by the kidney by separating the waste and unwanted excessive substances from the blood. Here you can see the two bean shaped structure. ठीक है, हमारे घरों में चौले की होती है ना बीन्स, उसकी तरीके के हमारे किडनीज का स्ट्रक्चर होता है. इतनी छोटी नहीं होती है, दे आर क्वाइट बिग. The two bean-shaped kidneys are situated on either side of the vertebral column. Vertebral column किसे कहते हैं? आपके spinal cord को. ये spinal cord की जो बाजू में नीचे की तरफ on your lower back, okay? You're not talking about your back. Just talking about the lower, the posterior side of the abdomen. आपका जो पेट है उसके पीछे की तरफ vertebral column के दो साइड पर situated होती है. ठीक है, the functional unit of kidney that performs the basic function of filtration is called a nephron. ठीक है, these are the words that you need to remember. nephron. जैसे कि हमारे जो किडनीज है ये नेफ्रॉन्स के से बनी है, उसकी जो सेल्स है, जो इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट्स होती है, जो फंक्शन करती है एज फिल्टर्स in your kidney are called as the nephrons. Each nephron has a cup-like. Everybody can see in this picture. It has a cup-like thin wall upper part called the Bowman's capsule. ठीक है, तो ये जो गोल दिख रहा है inverted part, this is called as the Bowman's capsule. The network of capillaries in it is called as the glomerulus. इसके अंदर बहुत सारे आप लोगों को capillaries दिखाई दे रही है रेड कलर की, ये glomerulus है. The urea produced in the liver comes into the blood. ठीक है, हमारी बॉडी के अंदर जब जो लिवर है it produces urea, it comes into the blood. When the urea containing blood comes into the glomerulus, it is filtered through its capillaries and urea and other similar substances are separated from it. ठीक है, तो while digestion there are certain chemicals which are enzymes which are released in your body, but after they have been utilized it has to be removed from the blood. ठीक है, and apart from those also हमारे body के अंदर और भी दूसरे waste products बनते हैं, उसे भी निकालना जरूरी होता है from the blood, and this filtration is done in your kidney. Basically most of the things are done in the by the nephron which has the glomerulus. Okay, and they absorb all the impurities and they give out the pure blood again to your body, and the urine which is then collected in the urinary bladder. ठीक है, then the urea is containing, when the urea containing blood comes into the glomerulus, it is filtered through its capillaries and urea and other similar substances are separated from it. Now after that, the water molecules that have and the small molecules of some other substances can cross the semi-permeable membrane of Bowman's capsule. ऐसा हो सकता है कि और जो उससे बारीक चीजें थी, उससे माइन्यूट पार्टिकल्स थे, वो उसके थ्रू निकल गए होंगे. The solution accumulated in the cavity of Bowman's capsule passes into the tubular part of the nephron. ठीक है, ट्यूब लाइक स्ट्रक्चर दिख रहा है आप लोगों को, लंबा लूप लाइक, इसके अंदर ये और चीजें जमा होने लग जाती है. Here molecules of water and some other useful substances are reabsorbed. और कोई चीज इंपॉर्टेंट हमारी ब्लड के अंदर अगर होगी तो फिर ये यहाँ पर ये फिर से absorb की जाती है. Okay, into the, and then it is reabsorbed and given into the blood. Then the urine is formed from the remaining solution which is full of waste materials. The urine is carried by the ureters and stored in the urinary bladder. Afterwards, urine is given out through the urethra. The urinary bladder is muscular and it is under the control of nerves. Hence, we are able to keep a control on urination. Though the kidneys are the main organ of excretion, in human beings, the skin and lungs also help in the process of excretion. Okay, so I hope this much is clear. Bowman's capsule समझ में आ गया, glomerulus समझ में आ गया. जो भी आप लोग के बॉडी के अंदर ब्लड के अंदर इम्प्योरिटीज है ये फिल्टर होती है Bowman's capsule में फर्स्ट, and from the Bowman's capsule अगर इसमें से कुछ चीज़ें बच जाती है और कोई अच्छी न्यूट्रिशनल चीज़ अगर बच जाती है तो ये फिर से अब्जॉर्ब की जाती है इन द ट्यूबुलर पोर्शन दैट यू सी इन द नेफ्रॉन्स। यहाँ पर ये रीअब्जॉर्ब होती है इनटू द ब्लड, एंड नाउ वॉट एवर वेस्ट इज लेफ्ट, now it is of no use, then it goes into the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder के अंदर यूरिन जमा होती है, and remember in the urinary bladder, below the urinary bladder you have a urethra which gives out the urine. अब वहाँ पर एक मसल्स हमारे प्रेजेंट होते हैं जो हमें यूरिन कंट्रोल करने में हेल्प करते हैं. And remember the children which are there, the kids which are less than 1 or 2 years of age, they do not have the control over their urine, right? क्यों नहीं होता? Because उनके अंदर वो muscle develop नहीं हुआ होता है. Once that muscle is developed, people are able to control their urine. Okay, so you have to remember that. The right kidney is slightly lower in position than the left. So अगर आप लोग का अगर हम लोग vertebral column देखेंगे, ठीक है, if you see in this picture also, if you notice, the right kidney is slightly lower in position than the left one. Each kidney has approximately 10 lakh nephrons. एक किडनी के अंदर कम से कम 10 lakh nephrons present है, which are helping in the process of filtration. So you can imagine हमारे यूरिन में जो भी बन रही है वो completely waste है, उसके अंदर कुछ भी अच्छी चीज नहीं present होती है, because there are 10 lakh nephrons in one kidney. You can imagine if there are two functioning kidney, properly functioning kidney, you can imagine your body, how important they are to your body, कितनी अच्छी तरीके से आपकी बॉडी के अंदर ये filtration का process चल रहा है with the help of the nephrons. The approximately 5 liter of blood which is present in a normal healthy person body is filtered by the kidney about 400 times a day. Okay. Thus every day the kidney filters about 190 liters of blood, from which about 1 to 1.9 liters of urine is formed. The remaining liquid is reabsorbed. Okay, so these terms are so important to understand the importance of the kidney. ठीक है, हमारे किडनी के अंदर कितने नेफ्रॉन्स प्रेजेंट है, कितना खून प्रेजेंट है हमारी बॉडी में, how many times is it filtering your blood, and how much amount of urine is collected in your body. These all terms are very important. Okay. Now, in some people, there are chances that the kidneys do not function properly. कभी कभार ऐसा होता है कि किसी की किडनी फेल हो जाती है किसी रीजंस के वजह से, कभी किसी एक्सीडेंट की वजह से या फिर कोई जेनेटिक डिसऑर्डर की वजह से वन ऑफ देयर किडनी डजंट वर्क. अगर एक किडनी नहीं काम करती ना तो दूसरी एक किडनी पे हम जिंदा रह सकते हैं. But there are some people who have a problem in both their kidneys. So if the kidneys are not functioning properly, तो हमारी बॉडी के अंदर प्योरिफिकेशन प्रोसेस स्लो डाउन हो जाता है. ठीक है, और हमारी बॉडी में गंदगी जमा होने लग जाती है. बिकॉज यू हैव लर्न कि हमारी बॉडी को कम से कम 5 टाइम हमारी बॉडी फिल्टर करती है हमारे ब्लड को, है कि नहीं. And if this body, the blood is not getting filtered so many times, what will happen? Waste will start getting accumulated in your blood, which will lead to further diseases in your body. Okay, so the efficiency of kidneys can be adversely affected by injury, infection, or decreased blood supply. In case this happens, an excess of toxic substance accumulates in the body, and it can lead to death as well. If kidney fails, nitrogenous waste are separated from the blood with the help of man-made machine. अगर ऐसा होता है, so there are man-made machines called as, हम लोग बोलते हैं ना dialysis पे है. Now this is what we're talking about. The process of separating the nitrogenous waste from the blood with the help of this machine is called dialysis. About 500 ml of blood is sent at one time through this machine. Purified blood is reinfused into the body of the patient. ठीक है, तो this machine that you see here, what does it do is basically it takes in your blood. Okay, it passes through the machine. अभी machine के अंदर they are removing all the waste which is coming from your body, and then this purified blood, जो waste निकल जाता है, ये purified blood है, ये फिर से हमारी body के अंदर infuse किया जाता है. ठीक है, तो ये प्रोसेस It is sometimes very painful for some people, okay, but this helps in many of the cases where the kidneys are not functioning properly. Okay, so I hope with this it is clear that how excretion it happens in your body, and how humans require proper functioning body, how important kidneys are in your body. So with this we stop here and we'll continue with the remaining part in the next coming period. If you like the session, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that you can share and
This session was quite useful to you. In the next coming period, we'll learn something new and interesting. Till then, thank you.